Our guest today is Broadway actress Avery Summers. She's been in touring productions such as well-known things like Chicago, and she's here today because she's starring in a civil rights pioneer, and in a production called Having Our Say. Yes. And along with her is director Keith Garrison. Welcome. I actually sat next to you at the Kravis Center during Hello, Dolly, and I kept going like this. Oh my God, that's her. Oh my God, that's her. So this is a play based off a New York Times bestseller, Having Our Say. Mm-hmm. And why did you want to bring the show to South Florida?
Well, I just want to say I'm the producer, Jeannie Croft.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Job directing. I wanted to bring it because this is an important part of American history, and it's a story that's not told very often, and it's a true story. These two women, 100 years old, living in Mount Vernon, New York. They have a fascinating amount of history. They've lived 12 lifetimes in 100 years. We thought it was very important to do it now. And
tell me about your role.
My role is the role of Sadie. She's the older sister, so she's 103 when we see
this.
Oh
my goodness.
Yes, and well, these two women were brought up in Raleigh, in North Carolina, so that's the beginning right there, the South. But they moved to New York in a time when there were very few women of any color, but especially African-American women, which they did not like, by the way. They didn't like that term. Were doing anything other than the usual, which is cooking and cleaning.
Right.
They were educated, very well educated, by their parents who taught them to reach high for the things that they wanted in life.
And they did.
And they absolutely
What are
did.
some of the accomplishments they had?
Well, my role, she became the first Negro, at that time, Negro teacher in the New York City school system.
That's crazy.
High school.
Trailblazing.
Yes. She wanted to teach high school because it was a promotion and she made better money. So she got around that.
And her sister became the first Negro dentist in New York State. They both went to Columbia.
That's correct.
And this center's in Harlem, right?
Yes, it does center in Harlem, but then they eventually moved to Mount Vernon in their later years.
And you were touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's super relevant right now, right?
It is very relevant right
Yes.
now with sensitivity of immigration issues and all these other things, to see that, you know, everybody, regardless of race, origin, we transcend that now. Everybody contributes, and these are two terrific Americans.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Keith, Avery, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're having our say.
You can see it at the Soul Theater through February 3rd. Tickets start at $30 plus taxes and fee. Now we're going to go over to Glenn. The South Florida Race for the Cure is Saturday morning, Glenn. You know I'm the race chair. Now give me some good news. Give me.
You're the race chair? I hadn't heard that.
Shut up.
I hadn't heard you mention that at all, ever. No, actually, I think the weather, in my opinion, and of course weather is very subjective, but in my opinion, I think the weather is going to be fantastic for the race on Saturday. It will be cool, it will be breezy, you'll definitely need an extra layer or two, but it's always better to have more layers than not enough layers when you're dealing with some cooler weather. All right.